welcome to Sioux Online. Sioux Online has been doing a series of interviews with candidates for the upcoming election. Today, we have Ross Romano with us. Oh, Ross.
Hello, very nice to meet you.
To start off with, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Well, my name is Ross Romano. I'm born and raised in Sault Ste. Marie. I spent most of my life in Ward 6. I grew up on a farm in Ward 6 in the west end on Allenside Road. I moved away from Sault Ste. Marie in 2001 to go away for law school. I was at the University of Windsor Law School. I returned back home in 2004 and I've been practicing law here ever since. Moved around through a number of different positions since returning to Sault Ste. Marie. I've worked as a duty counsel at the courthouse, a staff duty counsel. I've worked as an assistant crown attorney. As well, I've been the City of Sault Ste. Marie municipal prosecutor for a short period of time. I then moved on to work with the law firm of Bicheli and Dumansky. I became a partner there in 2011, where I became Bicheli, Dumansky, Romano, and Johnson. And now on June 1st, I moved to my current firm here at O'Neill, De Lorenzi, and Mendez, practicing the area of civil and criminal litigation. Ever since coming back home to Sault Ste. Marie, and even beforehand, even when I decided to go away to law school, I always had the goal of pursuing politics. After returning home, I decided that I needed to develop a little bit of credibility in my profession and work towards building my reputation in this community. And I felt at the point of this election that was developed enough that I felt it was time for me to put my name into the political ring, so to speak, and decided that this was the right time to run. I think Sault Ste. Marie needs some younger blood and some new ideas and fresher ideas on City Council, and I thought that this was the time that I had the most to offer to the residents of Ward 6 specifically, and as well to the city as a whole.
Now, why did you want to run in this election, and what do you feel the major issues are?
I wanted to run, just touching up in terms of what I said earlier, I wanted to run because first and foremost I've always been interested in city politics, and I have wanted to get involved for some time. The difficulty was that I was working on my career when I first returned home from school, and I really wanted to make sure that the people had more faith in me, and I thought I needed to develop credibility in the community before I was really in a position to run. And I wanted to have a good handle on my job and what I do for a living as a lawyer before I took on that role. Now I'm in a position that I feel I have that ability. I'm comfortable in my profession. I'm comfortable with what I do on a day-in, day-out basis. And I'm in a position that I now feel that I can juggle both my profession as well as City Council. And I didn't want to get involved until I knew I could give it 110%. And now I feel I can do that. Coming into this election, even before I officially made the decision to run, I was looking at what was happening in City Council, and the easiest way I could put this is I remember being a kid growing up in Sault Ste. Marie, and every time we'd drive into town, we'd see the sign that said Sault Ste. Marie, 81,000 people. Now I drive by that sign and it says Sault Ste. Marie, 75,000 people, and I think most of the people out there know that that number seems to be a little bit off. And I wonder if it really is that high. And I want to see that number grow. And I want to do something to contribute to this city and see its growth. When I left school in 2004, I convinced my now wife that Sault Ste. Marie was where we were going to make our home. I convinced her that this was the place where we were going to raise our family. And having moved here, her being from Southern Ontario, she knows now this is where we are going to remain. This is where we're going to stay. This is where we're going to raise our kids. And we don't have them yet, but God willing, when that day comes, we know we want to grow them up in Ward 6. I can't think of a better place to live, and I just want to be a big part of contributing to the city's growth.
Yeah. Do you see that as the only major issue, or is there other issues that you are disturbed with?
There are a number of issues in Sault Ste. Marie that require rectification right now. I think certainly our economic development and job creation through economic development is a tremendous concern, and there are a number of initiatives. We've seen the Green Initiative, and a number of the employment that's been generated as a result of that. I think that is a great start, and I think that we need to pursue that further. There's the SR Steel Harbor plan. That is another absolutely excellent opportunity for this city, and if we could see that realized, that would be just an incredible amount of potential for us to grow as a community. Certainly, I think in the field of information technology, the IT field, there's also a great deal of growth we can see. Now, I know right now, especially at this current election, water is a concern that has been raised. It's been a problem since 2011, and in fact, it's been a problem since before then. That is something that currently, in terms of the people I'm speaking to in Ward 6, and I haven't spoken to them all yet, but that's not an issue that's being identified as a paramount concern for the people of Ward 6. People of Ward 6 are identifying more with simple, real simple concerns. The roads, snow removal, sidewalks, ditch maintenance, safety on the roads, the presence of all the construction vehicles and trucks on the roads, and they're really worried about the safety of the roads and of the people driving them, and of the provision of essential city services, as I've noted, ditches and cleaning of the roadways with respect to snow removal and that kind of thing. That is what I'm hearing primarily from the people of Ward 6, and that's what I want to focus on. As far as water is concerned, I will say this. I don't want to throw stones. I don't want to blame anybody. I don't want to play that game, because that's not going to help fix the problem. At the end of the day, what I think we need to do as a city council, and if elected, what I will try to do and try to push more than anything, is to make sure that there's a very clear communication with the city as to what's being done to rectify the problem with the water, and to make sure that there's a very good appreciation of the time frame it's going to take to rectify the problem with the water. There is a two-stage process that is being implemented right now to try to rectify our difficulties with our water, and it's going to take time. And I think what's most important for people to appreciate, and what I hope to be able to assist on, is providing clear communication from the PUC or through the PUC and through City Council to ensure that the residents understand what's happening, and so that they can properly gauge their expectations. I'm not going to suggest that there isn't a problem, and I know people are tired of it, and I know it's been going on for a number of years. But I think what's most important is that we need to understand what the problems are and what it's going to take to fix them.
Closer to home, Ward 6 has been working with one councillor for at least the last couple of years. Do you think that Sault Ste. Marie should go to a one councillor per ward system?
I believe two councillors are necessary. I think it assists in terms of ensuring that there's an adequate provision of services to the residents of each ward.
Would you like to say something to the constituents of the city?
Very briefly, I will say this. I don't want to make promises I can't keep. It's not my intention to promise to do things that I can't do. All I want to promise you is this, to the residents of Ward 6, if you need me for anything, you call me and I will be there. I think that the only way that we can properly address the issues of Sault Ste. Marie and the issues of Ward 6 and the concerns that you as residents have is that you will call me with a complaint, I will come, we'll identify what the problem is, I will take your issues to the City Board of Works or the Planning Department, wherever those concerns need to be taken to, and I will call you back and we'll deal with the issue. And I can promise you this, obviously I'm not going to be able to solve every problem you have. As much as I would like to, I can't necessarily do that. And even if I cannot solve the problem, you're going to get a call back from me and I'm going to explain to you why. And at the minimum, you're going to know what the issue is, what the problem is, and why I can't handle it if I can't. But I'm hoping that we'll be able to always be in a position to rectify your issues. And that requires a little bit of trust on your part, and I only hope that you can put a little bit of trust in me that I will stand behind what I say I am prepared to do. Thank you very much.
We've been talking to Ross Romano, candidate for Ward 6. This is Mike Caruso for Sioux Online.